This may come as a surprise to you, but bats are actually the only mammals that can truly see with sound, and this unique ability has earned them the title of the king of echolocation. So, stay tuned until the end. Number 1. There are over 1,400 species of bats in the world. That's more than double the number of primate species, which include lemurs, monkeys, and apes. But despite their popularity, many people still have very little knowledge of these flying mammals. In fact, more than half the population is afraid of them. But after watching this video, you'll know enough about bats to impress your friends and family. Number 2. Bats can be found everywhere except Antarctica. They inhabit every continent and many of the world's islands. These creatures also thrive in a wide range of habitats, from forests to deserts to caves. But regardless of where they live, they all share one thing in common: the ability to navigate and hunt in complete darkness. This is because while most animals rely on sight to get around, bats use echolocation. This means that instead of seeing with their eyes, they see with their ears. To do this, they emit high-frequency sounds that are too high for humans to hear. Then, by listening to the echoes of these sounds, they can build up a mental image of their surroundings. This allows them to navigate in the dark and also to find food. In fact, echolocation is so precise that bats can tell the size, shape, and texture of an object just by touching it with sound. This means that even in total darkness, bats can hunt down insects with ease. Just by emitting a series of clicks and whistles, they can stun and kill their prey before it even knows what hit it. Number 3. Bats are the only land mammal that can true fly. While other mammals, such as flying squirrels and sugar gliders, can glide through the air, bats are the only ones that can truly fly. This is due to their wings, which are thin, flexible membranes of skin that are stretched between their elongated fingers and body. These wings allow bats to maneuver easily through the air, making them incredibly agile and graceful flyers. In fact, some species of bats can reach speeds of up to 60 miles per hour, making them one of the fastest animals in the world. Additionally, bats are the only mammals capable of sustained flight. This means they can stay airborne indefinitely, as long as they have enough energy. While other flying mammals can only glide for a few seconds at a time, bats can fly for hours on end. For example, the common vampire bat can fly up to 8 hours per night in search of blood meals. Number 4. Bats are nocturnal. Most species of bats are nocturnal, meaning they are most active during the night and sleep during the day. This is in contrast to diurnal animals, which are active during the day and sleep at night. There are several advantages to being nocturnal. For one, bats avoid the heat of the day by sleeping during the hottest hours and are able to hunt when their insect prey is most active. Additionally, nocturnal bats face less predation from daytime predators such as hawks and owls. Finally, by being active at night, bats have access to a food source that is largely unexploited by other animals. This allows them to find plenty of insects to eat without having to compete with diurnal predators. The disadvantages of being nocturnal, however, are that bats are more vulnerable to nighttime predators such as snakes and must be able to navigate and hunt in the dark. This requires specialized adaptations such as echolocation, which allows bats to see with their ears. Overall, the advantages of being nocturnal outweigh the disadvantages, and this is why the vast majority of bat species are active at night. Number 5. Bats have excellent hearing. In order to use echolocation effectively, bats must have excellent hearing. In fact, their hearing is so acute that they can hear sounds that are thousands of times higher than the range of human hearing. This allows them to emit very precise and detailed echolocation calls. Bats also have the ability to localize sounds very precisely. This means they can determine the exact location of an object by listening to the echolocation call bouncing back off of it. This is essential for hunting insects, as well as avoiding obstacles while flying. In general, bats' hearing is one of their most important senses and allows them to navigate and hunt in complete darkness. Number 6. Bats use different types of calls for different purposes. For example, they use one type of call for finding food and another for avoiding obstacles. Some species of bats even use different calls for communicating with each other. By understanding the different types of calls that bats make, researchers have been able to learn more about their behavior and ecology. For example, scientists have used recordings of bat calls to identify different species of bats in an area. They have also used playback experiments to study how bats respond to different types of calls. By studying the different types of calls that bats make, researchers hope to learn more about these fascinating animals and better understand their role in the ecosystem. Number 7. Bats have poor eyesight. Unlike many other animals, bats have relatively poor eyesight. This is because their eyes are not adapted for seeing in the daytime. In fact, most bats are nocturnal and rely on echolocation rather than sight to get around. However, some species of bats have surprisingly good eyesight. For example, the flying foxes are able to see very well in low-light conditions and use their eyesight to find fruit to eat. On the other hand, the little brown bat has very poor eyesight and relies primarily on echolocation. Overall, the level of eyesight varies widely among the different species of bats. But regardless of their eyesight, all bats are able to get around and hunt using echolocation. Number 8. Bats have a special membrane that connects their wings to their body. This membrane is called the patagium, and it allows the bat to maneuver in the air with great agility. The patagium is also important for thermoregulation, helping the bat to stay cool in hot weather and warm in cold weather. Additionally, the patagium is connected to the webbing between the bat's toes, allowing it to form a parachute-like structure for gliding. This adaptation allows the bat to conserve energy while traveling between trees or while evading predators. Overall, the patagium is an important part of the bat's anatomy, allowing it to fly, regulate its body temperature, and glide from tree to tree. Number 9. Bats hang upside down when they're not flying. When bats are not flying, they like to hang upside down from branches or cave ceilings. This is because bats have special adaptations that allow them to hang upside down without getting dizzy or falling. For example, their neck is very flexible and their claws are curved so that they can grip onto surfaces tightly. Hanging upside down has several advantages for bats. For one, it allows them to keep cool in hot weather. By hanging upside down, bats are able to get their bodies away from the hot ground and closer to the cooler air. Additionally, hanging upside down makes it easier for bats to spot predators. When they're hanging upside down, bats are able to see above them and below them, which gives them a better chance of spotting predators before they strike. Finally, hanging upside down allows bats to groom themselves more easily. When they're hanging upside down, bats are able to reach all parts of their bodies and clean themselves thoroughly. This helps to prevent the spread of disease and parasites and keeps them healthy. Number 10. Bats can live in a wide range of climates, from the Arctic to the tropics. Different species of bats have different temperature preferences, but in general, bats are able to tolerate a wide range of temperatures. This is because bats are able to regulate their body temperature very efficiently. They have a number of adaptations that help them to stay cool in hot weather, such as their thin, flexible membranes, which allow them to radiate heat away from their bodies. Additionally, bats are able to enter a state of torpor, which is a temporary slowing down of their metabolism. Torpor allows bats to survive in cold weather by reducing their energy expenditure. It also allows them to go longer periods without food or water. Number 11. Bats are important for the environment. Bats play an important role in the ecosystem by pollinating plants and controlling insect populations. As bats fly around, they often come into contact with plants that have flowers on them. As a result, pollen sticks to their fur and is carried to other plants, which then grow into fruits. In addition, as bats are eating insects, they are also helping to control the populations of these insects. This is important because many insects can carry diseases that are harmful to humans. Therefore, by eating these insects, bats are helping to keep us healthy. Number 12. Bats can be kept as pets. Despite their scary appearance, bats can actually make great pets. They are relatively easy to care for and are very entertaining to watch. In addition, bats are very social animals and enjoy being around their owners. If you want to get a bat as a pet, it is important to do your research and make sure you can provide them with the proper care they need. However, it is generally not recommended to keep wild bats as pets, as they may be carrying diseases that are harmful to humans. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed learning about the amazing bats. If you did, please consider subscribing to our channel so you never miss out on future videos. We would also appreciate it if you could like and share this video with your friends. Thanks again for watching, and we hope to see you in the next video.